Good morning. First of all, I'd just like to say thanks to everybody here for all the support that we have. We started out with nothing. We managed to build a shop. We had no tools. We asked for help, and now we got a whole shop full of tools. We just thank everybody for that. For our sub sale, I think we sold over 1,400 subs this year. So everybody that bought one, we thank you. It gives us the money that we use for our different activities during the year. Well, as everybody knows, this has been a challenging year, and we met this summer to get ready as a group and counselors, and we're trying to figure out how many kids are we going to have. You know, a bunch of them moved out. We only think of 2 or 3 fourth graders coming in. So we thought we had 21 last year. We were going to be down on numbers, but God had a different idea. We actually, if everybody's here this year, we have 28 boys. So we have 17 from church and 11 other boys that are not from our church. We're split into 3 cadres. We have a 4th grade group with 8 boys in it. Jim Fredericks, Kevin Dewey, and Mike Athern run that group. 5th and 6th grade has 10, and Jim Paul and Chris Penning work with those boys. And we have a 7th and 8th grade group of 10, and that is Steve Marvin, Lee DeZoo, and Dave Thurston run that group. And also we want to give special thanks to Troy Clement, because he's been helping us a lot and hanging around. Thanks, Troy. We appreciate that. There's a couple boxes out back if you want to make an offering to the cadets. And just to be clear, the offering will go to the council, not to our group. Part of being a part of the council, Grand Valley Council, is that we were required to take an offering once a year and send it to them. And that is used for lesson materials that we can get from them and other resources, and for our campground. So I'm going to have, Kevin's going to talk about what the 4th grade class has been up to.
So we started off our year, September. We just started with fire building. The kids learn how to gather kindling, proper size sticks and logs to get a fire going. That led into axemanship, and axemanship's code. They learn some safety rules and respect, handling the axe and cutting. Sharpening goes on top of that with knife sharpening and axemanship. Officer Matt Langlois came to visit with his cruiser, show the kids about his duties of being an officer, show them about the car and the weapons and different things. We took a trip to the corn maze, one night of leather stamping. We're working on derby cars and derby car stands. We are still going to continue to have the Pinewood Derby cars. On top of that, we do equal amount of time with our lessons. We're doing going through the book of Ephesians right now, and we're really encouraging the kids to do their daily devotionals, just to open the Bible and learn some verses.
So Kevin touched on a lot of the things that his group is doing, and it kind of flows through into the 5th and 6th grade group also, as far as the lesson time and into Ephesians. This past week we talked about being a servant to others and how we can serve others in our community and in our schools and in our homes. And so that's something that we're going to continue to focus on as we work our way through Ephesians. One thing that Kevin touched on with Officer Langlois coming out, if there are any of you that have a special talent or a skill or perhaps a profession that you think you could share something with us, we'd love to hear from you. You could talk to any one of us up here, and we could set up a night where you could come out and share that hobby or skill or interest. And these guys love that kind of stuff. It's something that kind of pricks someone's curiosity, and it may cause them to go on further in that area of their life. So if you have something that you would be willing to share for a night, we'd love to hear from you. Project time for us, as we started out the year building model rockets. We haven't gotten a chance to launch them yet, but as soon as the time change happens, we're going to spend a night. They're the good ones. They launch up about 1,000 feet out of sight, so they're pretty excited. They took several weeks to build them, and we're going to launch those later this spring. Currently, we're also doing the Derby cars, and we also have a clock that we're building. It's in the shape of the state of Michigan. They've cut them out. Some of them have cut them out so far. It's about 20 inches tall, and they're going to Mod Podge or wood burn something on the top that has some significance to them, and then there'll be a clock movement on the bottom of that. And so we hope to have a good finished product there, and we'll see what the rest of the year brings, but that's where we're at.
And 7th and 8th grade, I guess I just want to start by saying, you know, what an awesome group of kids. You know, we more than doubled our group from last year. So as he said, we got 10 guys, and so we also gained a new counselor this year, which Bill touched on. Dave is a friend of mine that said, man, you know, I just don't know what I'm doing right now. I need something to do. And so I pulled him in, and I said, okay, well, come help with cadets. You know, you're talking to me and saying that you're feeling like God wants you to do something, and I think that's what it is. So we're happy to have Dave here and helping. But man, what a group of young men. You know, we're also studying Ephesians, but with 7th and 8th grade, you know, our focus is to teach these boys to be leaders among their peer group, and so it can get a little intense sometimes, where when we're doing a lesson and the Bible is talking to us about, well, we need to love our family. We need to love those around us. You know, we might ask the question, you know, what is this saying? And they'll give us the right answer. Well, we have to love everybody. Okay, so how are you going to do that? And we ask them specifics of, no, not just what's the right answer, but how are you going to do that? How are you going to go home, and how are you going to love your sister? Because it's not always easy, right? But so they're doing awesome. They're a great group of young men, and so we got cut a little bit short on our time. The boys on 7th and 8th grade, we aren't really doing a whole lot of projects. And that's because these guys decided that they were okay with that. At the beginning of the year, we said, you know, we want you guys to be able to focus on how do you serve others. And they jumped at that, and that's what they wanted to do. You know, when we said, hey, do you guys want to do a project? They said, no, let's do some service. And so we were able to go out and rake a couple of yards. Would have liked to do more, like I say, but time kind of got cut short. But these guys just worked their butts off and, you know, did a great job. And, you know, they have a lot of fun too, but just service is really where these guys are at, and they're doing an awesome job at it, and we're just really proud of them.
Okay, I just also would add that we do have a really good group. The kids get along well, they work together, and it's our 5th year. There's a few here that are 8th graders that came in as 4th graders when we started, and if you think about 5 years has blown by, but they were just little guys, and you couldn't get them hardly to talk to you, you know, and it's just amazing to watch the growth. It's really cool. So now we're going to run through our landmarks that we do each meeting, and we'll start with a pledge to the American flag. We'll ask everyone to stand, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we'll move on to the cadet pledge. You may be seated, the audience. Thankful to God for his gifts to myself to be ready to serve God, my parents, my country,
my neighbor, my country, and my court.
Cadets, what's our motto?
Living for Jesus.
Cadet code?
Cadet must be reverent, obedient, compassionate, consecrated, trustworthy, pure, grateful, loyal, industrious, and cheerful.
Cadet verse? If you love me, you'll keep my commandments. John 14, verse 15. Okay, our theme for the year? Dive into the Word. Okay, and our hymn is Living for Jesus, and Mary's going to play it. And we'll ask everybody to sing along if you know it. Please help us out.